Welcome. Today is Sunday, January 20th, 2019. Here's what's what. The number of suicides in Japan fell in 2018, marking a 9th straight year of decline. The National Police Agency reports that 20,598 people committed suicide last year. That's down 3.4% from the previous year. By gender, suicides among men topped 14,000, more than double the figure for women. A welfare ministry survey in November showed that people in their 40s and 50s accounted for the largest number of suicides, each at nearly 17% of the total, followed by those in their 60s at about 15%. People aged 19 and under were the only group to see an increase for a second consecutive year. The survey indicated that health-related issues were the most common reasons for taking one's life, followed by financial and family problems. The number of suicides had exceeded 30,000 for 14 consecutive years until 2011. The figure peaked in 2003 at over 34,400. Ministry officials say suicides have decreased steadily along with the economic recovery and measures taken by local governments, but they say they will continue to work for those people who need help. Americans 55 and older make up slightly less than a quarter of the nation's labor force, but they filled up almost half, 49%, of the 2.9 million jobs gained in 2018, the biggest share of any age group. Older workers' share of the jobs created exceeded that of workers in the 25 to 54 age group, who make up nearly two-thirds of the workforce but took just 45% of the jobs gained. While some older workers are hired because of labor shortages, those 55 and older also tend to be healthier and better educated than people their age were in the past. If they're not in manual labor, they're able to work longer, noting that 40% of older Americans are in management or professional roles. Older managers are valuable to employers because they've got experience and skills to guide younger, lower-paid workers. Also, workers 65 and older who qualify for Medicare are particularly attractive to businesses because their health insurance costs could already be covered. The oldest workers' share of the labor force is growing the fastest, with the employment picture for older workers remaining promising in 2019. Labor figures indicate 39.2% of people 55 and older were working in December of 2018, the highest level since 1961. If you're awake before sunrise, go outside and look southeast. Venus and Jupiter are converging for a bright conjunction in the dawn sky. At closest approach on January 22nd, they will be less than 3 degrees apart, a beautiful pairing visible even from light-polluted cities. Also, a hole in the sun's atmosphere is turning to face Earth, and it's spewing a stream of solar wind in our direction. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory photographed the structure on January 19th. This is a coronal hole, a region where the sun's magnetic field opens up and allows solar wind to escape. The gaseous material is expected to reach our planet on January 22nd or 23rd. This coronal hole has been seen before. It opened in July 2018 and has been spinning around with the sun, lighthouse style, lashing Earth with solar wind once a month since then. In late December 2018, it sparked a G1 class geomagnetic storm with strong bursty auroras around the Arctic Circle. And a reminder that every night a network of NASA all-sky cameras scans the skies above the United States for meteoritic fireballs. Automated software maintained by NASA calculates their orbits, velocity, penetration depth in Earth's atmosphere, and many other characteristics. Daily results are presented on spaceweather.com. Following consumer complaints, Johnsonville, LLC, in Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, Friday recalled about 48,300 pounds of raw, ground pork patty products that may be contaminated with extraneous materials, specifically black rubber. The black rubber was discovered by customers who complained to the company. The following raw, ground frozen pork patties are subject to recall: 24 ounces, 1.5 pounds, plastic bag in a carton of frozen Johnsonville Grillers cheddar cheese and bacon flavor with best flavor by July 24, 2019, August 13, 2019, and August 14, 2019 on the label. The recalled grillers bear the establishment number 34225 printed on the carton end under the Best Flavor by date. These items were shipped to retail locations nationwide. There have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to consumption of these products. Anyone concerned about an injury or illness should contact a healthcare provider. Consumers who have purchased these products are urged not to consume them. These products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. Birthdays for today, January 20th. Lorenzo Lamas is 61. Lorenzo is an American actor and martial artist. He's known for playing the irresponsible grandson of Angela Channing on the 1980s soap opera Falcon Crest. He later went on to play Reno Raines on the 1990s crime drama Renegade. He is the son of Argentine actor Fernando Lamas. Bill Maher is 63. Bill is an American comedian, political commentator, and television host. He's known for the HBO political talk show Real Time with Bill Maher and the late-night show called Politically Incorrect. Paul Stanley is 67. Stanley is an American musician, singer, songwriter, and painter, best known for being the rhythm guitarist and singer of the rock band Kiss. He's the writer or co-writer of many of the band's highest-charting hits. Buzz Aldrin is 89. Buzz is an American engineer, former astronaut, and fighter pilot. As lunar module pilot on the Apollo 11 mission, he and mission commander Neil Armstrong were the first two humans to land on the moon. The government decided Thursday only male adult imperial family members will attend one of the key ceremonies to mark Crown Prince Naruhito's ascension to the throne on May 1st, following the example set by Emperor Akihito's enthronement in 1989. The government will allow only male adults from the imperial family to attend the ceremony because the imperial household law stipulates that only males can ascend the throne and minor members customarily do not take part in succession rites. In contrast, the government will allow female cabinet ministers to participate in the rite on the grounds that they are unrelated to the imperial succession and would be attending as observers. Currently, the cabinet of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has only one female minister. She would be allowed to attend the ceremony if she remains in the post. When Emperor Akihito ascended the throne in January 1989, following the death of his father, the attendants were all male. The cabinet at the time had no female ministers. The 58-year-old crown prince will ascend the chrysanthemum throne a day after the emperor, age 85, abdicates on April 30th as the first living Japanese monarch to do so in about 200 years. What happened on this date, January 20th? King George V of the United Kingdom dies in 1936. He is the grandson of Queen Victoria and was third in the line of succession behind his father, Prince Albert Edward, and his elder brother, Prince Albert Victor. The first U.S. presidential inauguration day was held on January 20th, 1937. Inaugurations were held on March 4th, the day of the year on which the federal government began operations under the U.S. Constitution. In 1981, 52 U.S. diplomats and citizens held hostage at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran are released and begin their journey home after 444 days. Dawson's Creek, the American teen drama television series about the fictional lives of a close-knit group of friends beginning in high school, starring James Vanderbeek, Katie Holmes, and Joshua Jackson, premieres in 1998 on WB. Temperatures are set to climb next week as heat wave conditions persist in parts of Australia. The searing heat has had a particular impact on the Australian Open tennis tournament and cycling event. This week, temperatures soared to as much as 15 degrees above the average, with 14 temperature records broken in the populous state of New South Wales alone. The small town of Nuna broke a different type of record, the highest minimum temperature recorded on any given day, after the mercury failed to fall any lower than 97 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. The heat wave has allowed bush and grass fires to persist. The Rural Fire Service in New South Wales reported 78 fires, 40 of which were not contained. A rocket carrying a satellite on mission to deliver the world's first artificial meteor shower blasted into space on Friday. A startup based in Tokyo developed the microsatellite for the celestial show over Hiroshima early next year as the initial experiment for what it calls Shooting Stars on Demand service. The satellite is to release tiny balls that glow brightly as they hurtle through the atmosphere, simulating a meteor shower. The satellite that launched Friday carries 400 tiny balls, whose chemical formula is a closely guarded secret and should be enough for 20 to 30 events, as one shower will involve up to 20 stars. Each star is expected to shine for several seconds before being completely burned up, well before they fall low enough to pose any danger to anything on Earth.